Hello everyone and welcome to the Top Cut. I am Pooka and with me are Michael Pram, Drew Holton,
Woo!
last week's guest, back once again, Dustin Zimmerman, and our new guest for this week, Brad Curcio. So, we've all kind of been introduced as Dustin's phone goes off. Way to go.
Sorry.
But our viewers might not know who Brad is, so Brad, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself for all the lovely viewers out there.
I'm Brad Curcio, Florida player / Texas player, I guess. That's nobody really knows who I am because I'm not very good at this game, but
Bull crap.
I just get second
Well,
You won state and regionals last year, Brad.
last year.
well, you are currently in the top 40 for North America, right?
Yeah, barely. I'm like 35th.
So you can't be that bad. Why don't you tell us about your season so far? How have you done?
I top 4'd 3 states and top 8'd regionals, and then I got second at several cities and battle roads. That was pretty much it.
Alright, so pretty solid season. Even if you haven't won anything, that's still pretty good. I mean, most people would kill the top 4 A state, let alone 3. So
Tell me about it.
you're doing pretty
Yeah.
well. Yeah. Alright, Dustin. So yeah, how about battle roads? Have you been to any so far in the spring?
I've been to 3, and I played Entei at all of them, and I got second and 2 fifths.
Alright, so 5th, that's kind of a buzzkill. So I assume they were top 4s and you just got 5th both times?
Yup, no points.
Yeah. So that's a big complaint about battle roads, but probably
It
get into that
happens.
later. Yeah, it happens. It's unfortunate, but nothing you can do about it. So, alright, I guess, anybody else? Have you been to battle roads recently?
I went to one over the weekend, and let's see, did actually kind of bad. It was the first time I was playing Darkrai, and I went 2-2. Apparently, Darkrai can't beat Entei. If
Not at all.
yeah, it's pretty bad. And then I lost to a Darkrai mirror, which we both kind of like drew bad, but then he just drew out of it first. So yeah.
Bummer. Alright, Drew or Dustin, did you go to any battle roads?
Nope.
Yeah, I went to 2. Week 1, I lost to Entei and Swiss, and then to my friend, and then I lost to him again in top 4. So 4-1 lost to top 4 to Entei. And then day 2, I lost round 1 to Ross, a Ross variant. I drew terribly and 4-1 bubbled at 5th. So
Ouch. So it looks like we're home of 5th place tonight. It's no fun. For those wondering, I did go to a battle road.
we all saw.
Look, let me have my moment, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
I decided to go to a battle road for fun. I threw together a Vanillux deck literally the night before, about 8 hours before the tournament. And I ended up winning. So I posted the games and the report online. So if you're interested in that, I won't get too into it. It's all online. So there's that. Otherwise, what do you guys think about battle road results so far? It's been mostly Darkrai. Some other decks have been making a showing. We've had more CMT lately, obviously including more Terrakion. We've also seen a few more of those Kling Klang decks around, and some more Entei decks as well. So, what do you guys think heading into Nationals? What are you going to see the most of? And we'll start with Brad.
I'm pretty sure Nationals is just going to be a giant Darkrai mirror match fest. I don't really think anything else is going to be played very much. I honestly don't. Maybe some Zeals, some CMT, and that's about it.
Alright, so you don't think people are going to say, oh, Darkrai is going to be big, so I might as well play, like, Terrakion?
I don't think the
like,
quad fighting decks are very good, especially if you play, like, Zimmerman's variant with crushing hammers. You just get rid of all their energy, and they can't do anything about it. So even though they're giant fighting Pokemon, you can't attack without energy. So
I mean, if I remember correctly, you used Landorus Terrakion at States. Is that right?
yeah, the first week.
Yeah. Do you think that could still be viable, seeing as Landorus doesn't really care about Crushing Hammer that much?
I think it'd still be decent. I don't think Landorus is that good anymore, though. I don't think I would play it. I think Landorus Terrakion would still be decent, but it still lose to the old Mewtwo thing, really easily, unless you played your own Crushing Hammers. But I don't know. I personally think it's just going to be Darkrai.
Okay, so Brad thinks it'll be Darkrai. Dustin, what about you? What do you think Nationals is going to be looking like?
I'm going to agree with Brad in that you will probably see 50% Darkrai. Like, I don't know. Is that a lot? Probably a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. I don't know. 80%, 80, 90%. But no, like, there's still a lot of people I know that are still attached to electric variants, and they don't want to stray away from that whatsoever. They just want to adjust it to beat Darkrai. And I feel like a lot of other people will try to do that too. They will stick to a deck they like, just maybe modified to beat Darkrai, or come up with a different deck altogether to beat Darkrai. But I feel like everything that's going to be at Nationals will either be Darkrai or something to defeat it, which makes a lot of sense.
Okay, so we got 2 votes for lots of Darkrai. Drew, what do you think?
Well, here's another vote for lots of Darkrai. But within Darkrai, I think there's a ton of variety.
So many.
Like Brad touched upon, like there's Dustin's version, which is pretty good versus the fighting decks, and the straight Darkrais aren't as good versus the fighting decks. So within this huge group of Darkrai decks, there's a lot of diversity, which really mixes things up a little bit. You're not going to be able to beat every single kind of Darkrai with one type of deck, so I like that. As far as Battle Road results, I thought they were pretty legitimate until Cal won with 2 scoops of pain, so just made them all illegitimate.
Taste
Horrible.
the pain, Drew.
Yeah. The worst
All right.
was he kept sending me text updates all day. Well, I'm 1-1 now. 2-1,
Hey.
3-1.
I had to fill you in. I made a 6-1 comeback against
Yeah.
an Entei deck, alright?
Heckling me all day. I don't appreciate it.
Wait, what's Entei weak to? Oh.
Water.
Nothing.
When you just promote basics and pass for the first,
Oh, I'm sure.
and then
It's weak
I
to
mean-
ice cream.
it is. I used the Slippery Souls Vanillux, which surprisingly knocks out Entei in 1 hit.
Does it do more damage per their retreat cost?
Yes, does exactly enough.
That's exactly enough.
So yeah, came in handy for once.
You make me sick.
I played because it was cool, and then it won me a game. But alright, Pram, what do you think? We got 3 votes for tons of Darkrai. about
I think generally people just stick with their guns. If, like, just based on battle roads, there's gonna be a lot of people playing Darkrai. But I don't know if it's gonna be like the 50% plus. I think a lot of people are gonna stick with their electric decks. A lot of people are gonna stick with the CMT. You're gonna see some people go like quad Terrakion and just cross their fingers. And then, you know, people might even play Vanillux because they saw you win with it.
I apologize in advance.
I've been
for
getting messages all day, like all week, for Kyle's Vanillux list. I don't have it. Stop sending me Facebook messages.
God, Vanillux is
I know the
bad.
thought crossed my mind for like a second before I shook it off, where I was just like, maybe I should look into Vanillux, and I was like, wait a minute, what am I doing? So I bet there's gonna be like a bunch of decks with that. So I think at most Darkrai is gonna hit 30 percentile at most, just because people like to stick with what they're used to. And if you're just like, oh, I saw Darkrai win a lot, chances are that person's not gonna switch over to it. They're probably just gonna be like, I'm just gonna fix whatever deck I'm gonna play to have like Terrakions in it. And so I think it's gonna be a lot of Darkrai, but not to the extent where it's like maybe every other round I played Darkrai.
Okay, so Pram, you think it's going to be a lot of Darkrai, but there's still going to be a lot of stuff mixed in?
I think maybe a third of the tournament at most is Darkrai. But that's a lot of Darkrai if you think about it, because a third of the tournament is like 700, 800 people. So,
yeah.
You know, take that with perspective.
Yeah, I think in all the years I've played Nationals, no deck has ever been even 50% of the field. Even in the Guardy days, the field wasn't even 50% Guardy. And that was hands down the most dominant deck. So I would be absolutely shocked if 50% of the field could even afford enough Darkrai's to play the deck. So I do think it'll be the most popular deck, but like Pram said, people usually do stick with their guns. Most people, like, if somebody won a regional with Zekrom Electric, they're probably going to still stick with it and play it for Nationals.
What you're playing? Is that a hint?
We'll see. Most people will just, stick with what works. They don't want to get too crazy. But for me, the thing that kind of bothers me is the format's almost turned into, we have Darkrai decks, and then it seems like a lot of the games I play are, okay, do you have the Terrakion and the Fighting Energy in your hand to respond to my Darkrai? And it usually comes down to like this one turn where, can you knock me out with Retaliate? And if they have it, Terrakion wins. If not, Darkrai wins. Is this something you guys have experienced in your testing? A lot of Darkrai versus Terrakion, they have it or they don't kind of thing? And whoever wants to answer.
Sure.
Eviolite plays a lot too. If you have the Eviolite and they whip the plus power or something.
That too, yeah.
Yeah. I think if you're playing Terrakion, you have to at least play at least 2 plus power. Maybe 3. But yeah, I generally found the games going like that, though sometimes it doesn't matter. Sometimes Darkrai pulls way too far ahead, and then sometimes the Terrakion deck can like get a couple good like Smeargle kills, and then they're just like, alright, I have like 2 turns where I can just respond with Darkrai somewhere along the way. And yeah, I found that it's pretty much like that, but there's a lot of breathing room to how a game can play out.
Alright, anyone else?
Yeah, I've been testing that matchup a lot. Mondek has been testing a Zekrom Terrakion deck for Nats, and that's pretty much exactly how it plays out. If he gets like 3 Terrakions out in a game, he probably wins. But he's always just digging for the last one, inning, using the Smeargle, going for Junipers. And if he hits it, he wins. If not, I win. So.
Is it similar to the list I gave him at that Battle Road, or did he change it a lot?
I think it's similar to Pram's list.
Yeah.
I don't know what's in yours, so...
Well,
I don't know.
Alright, and Dustin, what do you think? Have you run into a lot of games where it's just, oh, they had Terrakion, so I lost, or oh, they didn't have it, so I won?
No. At least not with the variant of Darkrai that I'm playing. Because a lot of the time when I'm talking about my deck, people are just like, oh, Darkrai's weak to fighting, right? What if they get a Terrakion out? Don't you lose? And I hate it. It makes me really mad every time someone says that. So what it usually boils down to is, if they don't have a Terrakion on the field, I try not to take prizes. I'll try to do 92 in EX and then 30 somewhere else that's not killing something. And if I can do that enough, it usually gets to a point where they want to play a draw supporter, and they're like, you know what, I'll just bench the Terrakion. Even if they're not taking the Retaliate, they just bench them, attach an energy, and they see what they can do from there. And if they do that, then it's only a matter of crushing hammer the energy, catching out the Terrakion itself, doing 90 to it, and I just kind of play around not taking KOs, forcing them not to be able to retaliate, and God forbid they ever get a land crush with crushing hammer. I should be able to do that enough times to prevent the double fighting from being attached. And that's usually what happens in my experience. Very rarely does a surprise Terrakion come up on me and kill a Darkrai. But when it does, I'm usually ready for it and okay with it and have the response, and I'm already far enough ahead in the game to be able to deal with it. So that's how it is for me.
So I guess I'm kind of wondering, what kind of decks are you facing that have Terrakion?
Typically electric variants I ran into early in Battle Roads, and last weekend I actually didn't see that many. I think I played against one Darkrai Terrakion, but I guess I could do more testing against Darkrai Terrakion, but I'm mainly talking about the like CMT with Terrakion or electric with Terrakion, just decks that are teching it in is really easy for me to deal with.
Yeah, because I guess more of the problem I see with the Darkrai versus Terrakion thing is not where they put it down, because if they put it down without doing anything, then, like you said, it's not doing anything.
Right.
It's a situation where they go out, Dynamotor, Terrakion, and a fighting, and then
Sure.
retaliate after you knock out, like, any electric or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, a CMT deck just going Shaman, Celebration Wind, and then Land Crush or Retaliate,
Right.
whatever.
But
So-
yeah, like I said, I try to not even take KOs if I'm expecting them to play a Terrakion, like if I think it's a deck that might play it and is ready for it. So some turns, like my only option in attacking with Darkrai is to take a prize. There's like not an EX I can two-shot, or I already hit it once. Sometimes I might even junk hunt. Like I'm doing anything I can to further my game state and my setup while at the same time preventing their retaliate until I'm ready for it, almost.
What happens if they just swing with like a Zimmerman and Eviolite?
I don't know.
Just
oh
never
my
came
god,
up?
I lose. No, like,
It's impossible.
it's impossible. No, like those situations. That's not that hard. Then maybe I will kill something. I don't know. It really all depends on the game state, but a Zekrom with Eviolite isn't like the worst thing in the world.
No, I mean I'm just wondering if that situation's come up for you, because the way it sounds like people who keep benching Terrakion and just going, I hope this does something later on.
Well, that doesn't
Sounds
happen a lot.
suspect.
Only the really bad players will do that, but it does happen sometimes. And I'm not banking on that happening.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I was giving the situation when that did happen. But yeah. It's been fine for me. I'm not afraid of Terrakion.
Alright, so I think we can all agree that Darkrai is fairly good. We're going to be seeing it in Nationals, and if your deck can at least compete with Darkrai, you probably shouldn't be playing it. Can we all agree on that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Sure.
Yes.
Alright, so next thing I want to do is I'm going to run through a list of decks, and you guys tell me whether or not you think they're good.
Okay.
Alright, sound good? Number 1 is going to be Quad Entei. And Brad, you first.
I love that deck because that's all I played at Battle Roads, but I don't know how good it would actually be because it loses terribly to Crushing Hammer, and it struggles with Mewtwo and Eviolite, just like Landorus Terrakion did. It really can't get around that. Other than that, it beats Darkrai really well, as long as they don't have Crushing Hammers, and I think it beats Zeals pretty well as long as they don't have the 3 Mewtwo's or something ridiculous, like David Reichenberger did against me.
Alright, anyone else? Entei?
I found it pretty mediocre. Bad, I guess, if I only have the option of good and bad. Simply because it has a pretty decent Darkrai game, but its matchups overall against other things are kind of shaky. Like, if Zekrom Electric ever gets a turn 2 Bolt Strike, you're just like, oh! and then, so, you know, it can't keep up with all the healing sometimes, and eventually you'll just, like, drop 2 prizes, or they'll pop out a Mewtwo with, like, 8 energies on it with Eviolite and just go, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
5 out of 10 would not.
What?
Thanks for that, Dustin. Drew, what do you think
That's
about
my
Entei?
opinion.
Hey man, he censored
I have
it.
to go
You don't
edit this
know what he's
episode.
gonna say. Would not play? Yeah, 5 out of 10 would not play, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with bad.
Okay. Let's see. Next up, we will have the truth. How about that one?
Bad. Next.
Give everyone a chance.
Hurry up. Let's go.
It's very
Bad. I hate Vileplume decks. Hate Vileplume.
too inconsistent.
I like Vileplume in this format. There's so much trainer action going on in all the top decks. Everything's aggro. I don't know if the truth is the answer, but I like Vileplume. I'll go with good.
Brad, what do you think about the truth?
I don't like it. I think the fact that Solosis has 30 HP just makes it worse for Darkrai. I mean, you can get the Vileplume out, but
It's definitely scary. Alright, so next, how about CMT?
Good.
Got one good.
I haven't done a lot of testing with it since States, but I really want it to be good because I really like the deck.
I
So
agree with
I'm
Dustin.
going to be doing more testing.
That's all I played for States besides Landorus, so I hope it's decent. But I think Tornado CX is really good in it, but I don't know how good Tornado CX actually is, so I haven't played it.
Do you like turn one-ing people?
Yeah,
Then you will like Tornado CX.
All right.
Woohoo!
I think
Alright.
it's good. Obviously, had to evolve a little bit from states and regionals. Got to play some Terrakion probably now, but it's good.
Yeah, I think Terrakion, you probably need it now. And also, maybe you might need to play Regigigas, because it's actually pretty solid against Darkrai. So if you don't play either of those, then you're probably just going to get crushed.
You just need to watch out against Darkrai. Terrakion, because Regigigas is obviously terrible against that.
Yeah, of course. Alright, so CMT, we got a thumbs up on that one. Let's see, we have... How about Zekrom Electric?
Good.
Not a fan.
I don't like the
Good.
deck. My friend Summer loves it, but I hate it.
So Dustin and Brad, you don't like it?
I think it's good
It's good,
and will perform very well. I'm sure. I've always tried to strayed away from electric variants for some reason. I don't know. There's always just
think
something
it's
I
a
like
really,
better.
really good deck. I just personally don't like it.
Yeah, same way.
I feel like it's the 50-50 deck of the format. It can just beat anything but lose to anything. So
That's fair.
Yeah.
Alright, how about Excelgor Vileplume?
okay, first off, I don't even know what an Excelgor is.
Well, for 2 colorless
No.
energy,
I don't mean like the card. I mean like I don't know what it is as a thing.
it's like a bug Pokemon.
Okay. That's it.
I mean, that's what it is, yeah.
All right.
That's what trips you up about this?
Yeah. I don't know what it is as a thing or a card.
Balls from Shelmet.
That doesn't help at all.
It was a promo for regionals, I think.
It was the States and Regionals promo.
Yeah.
Or no, it was the States promo.
I honestly just got the promo and then just put it away somewhere.
It's kind of a ninja bug, but not ninja-esque.
Okay.
Here, Pram.
There you go.
That's
What
a weird
is
looking
that?
Pokemon. Is it like an alien? It should be psychic with a head that big. Maybe ghost. Look at that. Looks like it could be a ghost.
No, it is grass type in the trading card game.
Grass ghost?
No.
Not quite, no.
Maybe it's like what happens when you mow your lawn, all the extra
Alright,
grass.
does anyone take this deck seriously, is what I'm asking.
No.
Okay. I've actually seen this played a surprising amount at Battle Roads.
I lost to it at Battle Roads playing Entei. I'm pretty sure it beats Entei, but that's about it.
Was it
Yeah.
with the psychic or fire?
Well, it doesn't matter. It
It
shuffles
never gets
itself back
attacked.
in every time.
It goes back in the deck.
Oh. Hmm.
Oh.
Paralyze and poison for 2 and 50 damage.
Hey,
Shuffles itself back in.
That's like Gliscor.
Yeah, kind of.
Or that old Beedrill card with the
Yeah.
power. Yeah.
Oh, the one where you played Super Devo Spray?
Yeah.
and it was like broken in team games. Yeah.
That deck sucked.
Alright, so a big no to Excelgor. What else? We'll have a couple more decks. Let's see. First one will be Lugia Legend with Terrakion.
No.
Oh.
Terrible.
Oh,
No.
It's won 2 battle roads.
let's say good in the
Lugia's
hands
bad, Terrakion's good.
of like someone who's just blessed that day.
Yeah. You want to battle roads with Vanillux, Kyle. No room to talk.
Don't think we're not getting to that one.
Like if you're just like
Skip it.
if you're just running really really hot, it's the best deck in the format. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
sure.
No.
That could apply to a lot.
Yeah, it could. But it especially applies to Legend Box.
Can
Oh,
we agree
God.
that Lugia Terrakion does beat Darkrai though?
Lugia beats Darkrai, and Terrakion beats Darkrai when they have their respective energy attached. But the deck, I wouldn't say it beats it.
You hit
Would you
Legend
say
Box.
it has a favorable matchup against Darkrai?
No.
You can't make him do it. You can't make him do it.
It's like killing him on the inside. It's like, on paper, the Lugia knocks me out. The Terrakion knocks me out.
And they
I can't
energy
say it.
accelerate twice.
If you actually Legend Box, and then say you Legend Box, and it's just both Lugia pieces and no energy,
You can still use the power.
yeah, you can still use the power. You still get to look at 5 more cards. I saw a video, someone where they won with the deck. He got a turn 1 knockout on a Darkrai because he got a Legend Box. He got like 2 fighting off of it, and then shaman all of his energy to a Terrakion and land crushed a Darkrai turn 1.
Ridiculous. I will say that I saw a Lugia Legend top in some kid's binder recently, and I did pick it up, just in case.
Yeah, man. Look out for Lugia at Nationals. It's coming for you, Dustin.
So on paper, we all vote good.
We on paper we're both good. You look at the card itself and you go, "Oh my God, 200?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please." But
I hate you all. It's horrible.
Alright, the next deck is Kling Klang. What do you guys think about Kling Klang?
bad,
Uh,
It's the worst
bad.
raw.
Here's-
bad.
It's good if you don't run into Lost Remover Sableye,
Woo!
but if you play against Lost Remover Sableye, or just 2 Lost Removers, not so good.
yeah, that deck is pretty bad against Lost Remover, but otherwise it's actually not that bad.
Oh, and I guess Enhanced Hammer would count too.
Or
Yeah.
Crushing Hammer would probably do the job too.
No. That's
What? And it
you're
can.
gonna flip tails. Let's
Oh.
be honest.
Yeah, you're right. Dang it.
Every clutch situation, you're just like, come on, heads. Mm-mm.
Alright, I'm going to throw you a curveball. At a Battle Road, I faced a Meganium Prime deck that was just like the Kling Klang deck, except it used Meganium and Viability. And then, instead of Max Potion, it would play Seeker.
That's
So
worse.
it gets rid of your Lost Remover problem. Same concept. But just Meganium instead of Kling Klang.
Tell you what, if you ever get all that out, congratulations.
And there was a Battle Road around here where Meganium took second and Kling Klang took first.
No.
How did the Clink Clank come out on top?
I don't know, man. It's a mirror match.
How does that even work out? Did one person just go like glaciate and then like
There's no glaciate, man.
you can run the Kyurem?
They run the EX, not the regular
You can
one.
run the regular one if you wanted to.
I mean, you can.
Nobody does.
You could. You could just glaciate.
You
You can run
could, yeah.
anything, Pram.
Yeah, you actually could run anything.
You could run Stunfisk if you really wanted to.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a stretch. That's a stage 1.
No, it's not.
Oh,
That's
it's
a
not.
basic.
Is it basic?
Yeah.
Shows how much I know.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, Meganium, yes, no? Anyone?
no.
No.
Oh.
Nobody's a fan.
Maybe with Vileplume. But no.
Alright, last one. Last but not least, Vanillux.
No.
No.
Yes.
I don't think it's terrible. I think if you flip a lot of heads, you can pretty much beat anything.
If you never go quad tails, you win.
Yeah.
Because the format's...
Let me tell you, in the finals of my Battle Road, I flipped quad tails twice in one game, and I still won.
It's 'cause it's Wisconsin, dude.
We are the dairy state. I guess it applies to me. Ice cream running wild.
You ever leave Wisconsin, it just rolls all quad tails all of the time.
Oh, well. Alright, well, I guess it's really all we got for normal discussion. So, let's take a little break, and then we will return with viewer questions. So, we'll be right back. Please ask your questions on our Facebook page, facebook.com/TopCutPokemon, and when we get back, we will answer them. So we'll be right back.